We are in MedFit Diagnostics Lab getting a panel of blood tests done. It's about 1,500 rupees for about 70-ish tests, just to check our general health, because Canada's healthcare is burning and we haven't been able to get a good general physical done in years. That in India there's lots of different basic medical diagnostics available to you if you feel like you want to do a check or have a physical. So this is what this is. We went in and we waited. We were filling out a form, and about 3 minutes after that, the first one of us got a blood vial drawn, a single vial. I will say it was done in what would be considered a more primitive way than the way we do it at home. It was done kind of with bare hands using a syringe for suction. However, this was successful and they seemed to have a lot of practice doing this. She did sanitize her hands and there was no obvious communication of blood, you know, from someone else to me or anything like that. It was all otherwise clean, but it was just a different method than I'm used to. Next, I went in for an ECG, where they did a paper printout of my results. 6-7 hours later, we got the results. I asked specifically to just double check B12. There was no problem with my B12, so that's really good. Got our results back. They offered us either a printed value that we could come pick up or a result to our email. And that was super nice. We got a result to WhatsApp is what we ended up choosing, and it was a detailed report listing all the numbers. Now, we're not doctors, so we don't know what every last little thing means. So if you want to get it interpreted for you, then you'd need to make a separate appointment with a doctor, which is also incredibly cheap, and have it very carefully analyzed. But we just used Google to try and help us out, and overall it was very easy to interpret. So the test gave a range of suggested normal numbers, and then it contrasted yours in the center column with what your numbers were on the blood test. Yeah, overall it was a really good experience. For 2 people it was 1,500 each, so 3,000 total. 1,500 amounts to $24 thereabouts Canadian. $24 for diagnostic blood tests and an ECG. It's about as close as you can get to an all-around physical without visiting an actual doctor. Any major sickness would generally be discovered by this. If you have any doubts about parasites or anything sort of more rare, then you might need one other panel of tests, testing your urine and a further vial of blood, and I think that was maybe 600 or 700 more. We didn't do that. We might actually do that on the way out, just to double check if our guts have been infested with all sorts of Indian parasites. But overall, we've been pretty healthy. This verified that we're doing well. I strongly recommend it. The place we went to was called MedFit in Pondicherry, and they were quite good. And I have to say, even still, if you don't want to use them, there's tons of other labs on Bussy Street where there are dozens of medical professionals and small hospitals and labs and physiotherapists, and anything you can think of medically is all there on Bussy Street. So that was our experience. I think it's worth it. Right now the Canadian medical system is a little bit bogged down and probably on the verge of collapse, so it was really nice to just have that peace of mind and know that I can avoid the rigors of trying to go to the family doctor right when I get back. Family doctor is a joke, of course. If you're in Canada, you know that almost no one has one, and we are not an exception to that. But yeah, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. We found it really, really helpful. So thanks, MedLab at Pondicherry.